Well, what you just saw is the animation I just made. I say just made, it's been 2 months making. Oh, I'm so bad. Oh, I can't draw, I can't animate. It's very obvious from this, and also I got the outlines wrong as well, all things. I made them too big. I didn't realise that until I was actually animating it. I was like, oh, I'm like 10 frames in now, it's too late. There's no way I'm going over them, and even then, this is too big here. And jeez. Yeah, I'll go through like sort of what went through my head with this. It's an idea I had for a while, and then I think I wrote not necessarily a fan fiction, but it sort of is. It depends how you frame it, really. I wanted to make something to explain a side of a story. Basically, in Sonic, one of the most neglected characters, as you can see here. Example one is Green the Rabbit, and she's adorable, but she has a lot of potential, and she doesn't get that much representation. Admittedly, I haven't played a Sonic game since Frontiers, and I haven't really paid attention to something like Forces or Lost World, or even the dreaded Boom era. But the games haven't been good for a long time, and so me being sort of a fan of the characters rather than the games, I feel like making my own sort of animation on them, and this is actually my second ever animation. Because my first one was also Tails and Green, but it was also a reference to a scene in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which I thought was fucking adorable, to say the least. And I basically drew that, but when I released it publicly, people were being real fucking creeps about it, so yeah, I essentially never reposted it, and I don't think I ever will, to be honest. Like, this is an entirely innocent animation. But I sort of need to overcome that trauma in a way and make something that's a bit better. Something that's more handmade as well. Although it was technically hand drawn, all this is. So yeah, so some in-depth things. I also do the outlines first, so you see in the folder I've got the feel. I was planning on doing shadows, but there's too much to do, so did do them. Yeah, I got the feel. I could turn off the background briefly. I'll explain the background after. Yeah, outline's quite simple though. I did this without reference. I did this from memory, and I didn't use any references for anything. I didn't even do it for the sitting position. I didn't even do it for anything else. I believe I had a sketch though. Might be in here actually. I don't remember what's in this. So, oh wait, it's the background image. That's not the right folder. I do label these, but I didn't label this for some reason. But yeah, I did a sketch, I believe, and this is sort of what I ended up with as a final. Because for some reason I moved the sketch after. But as I went along, I just did the rest of the frames and stuff. I didn't really plan this out, but I did it as I went along. I decided, right, I'm going to do a blink, I'm going to set the stage so that they do a blink. As you can see, enable that before I forget. And also do a bit of movement as well. It's not massive, nice mistake there. Let's fill that in quick. Yeah. No, I've got my hotkeys sorted out. That's another mistake. Fuck. I keep finding these. This is a problem when I'm OCD. I don't notice some things sometimes, and I notice everything a lot of the time. It's so weird. It's so inconsistent. Yeah, that's all the blink animation, but then you go and see head turning. So I'll explain the colouring thing after. Missed it up there as well. One sec. Yeah, I just cannot get this right, but you probably don't even notice it though. That's the thing though. With so much going on, it's hard to place your eyes on anything. So it's kind of like doing this by mouse is awful. I did all this by drawing tablet, obviously. I wouldn't do it without. It'd be pretty much impossible. Yeah, one of the tricks I'll do when animating is I go between the two frames here. So you can see like the movement, and I also use onion skins for people unaware. There it is. That's not with the feel, but to do with the outline. Really hard to track though. I find the problem with onion skin is it's hard to know which one's obviously the next thing and which one's the last thing, or the previous thing. So that does cause issues. That's a nice gradient. That's illusion there. But yeah, I wish there was a way to change the colour. I swear you could, but I couldn't remember how to do it. So that ended up happening. So it goes on and on. I did too many for the head tone, I think, or was it? Oh, it was the other thing actually. Yeah, I forgot to zoom out of it. That's showing the turning up. The other thing I did is I did a motion. She's dropping the phone. I thought that was a cool detail to add because it sort of means that she's like dropping her thing. It's like telling a story. This is what it entirely is, and as I said, the fan fiction ties into that, where it's about Cream's story. I sort of made something up about that, how they met, how she met Tails and stuff, and this is basically the story of them on the way home from Tails just being integrated into, well, almost like a societal sort of place. So like he's went to a restaurant with obviously cream, cheese, and vanilla, and yeah, there's not really much else to say on that. That's all the story here, and they're just on the way home now. But as you could expect, there's an adorable fluffy boy, and you can't resist the urge to hug him. I did have some extra frames here that I didn't use in the end because there's too many. I found I was doing too many at once, and then I decided to cut back, which is why you suddenly see like a jump. So from here to here, it's like a sudden jump, and then sudden jump here, not jump there. The other one there. Didn't realise his eyes shrunk. That wasn't intentional. Yeah, that's one of the problems with being so bad at drawing, and then also we get to the G crub. It's like she's going in deep. Basically, you see where she's pressing against his fur. I tried to make it as fluffy as possible, but I didn't really do a good job of that. You can sort of see how it like goes, see in and out, and I didn't do that originally, as you can see there. I've still got a frame of that, or two. It's quite interesting. As for the feel, though, yeah, this is an interesting one actually. I originally did it with. Well, actually, I did design this as a dark, and I'll explain that after as well. Sorry. But the feel, I decided to basically make it bright, so I don't know if I can redo that. Color correction. Not sure if brightness and contrast will do it. Maybe saturation. Why is my window up here? Kind of works actually. Well, I didn't do brightness and contrast for this, obviously. Should go without saying. Yeah, this is almost like original colours here. And what I did was I applied a red filter. So, obviously that highlighted it. Actually, the best way, this is a trick I learned a while ago, I think. Could be wrong. Yeah, just like a layer of like dark red, for example. I think that's how I did it. Could be wrong. It's been a while. I've been doing this for like over a week now, I think. Just filling it, and also highlight these, and yeah, cut that bit out, delete the rest, Control Shift V, then there we go. I'll lay that on top, I merge it, there we go. I have the basically the colouring there, so almost like the light there, and obviously not entirely like that in the end result. Yeah, that's how I achieve that effect, and I do have a palette. I had an old one hanging around from images I had. Had it for quite a while when I was starting out and all, and it's what I ended up with. Also did the filter. Well, actually, I did the drawing first. Then I made these blobs so that I can copy them. So I highlight, select everything relevant, and go to the fur first for cream. There you go. Let's fill. So delete fill. Yeah, so it just works. Also have area scaling on this, but for some reason it didn't work on this image. Not sure why. maybe it's because it's filled already. But there is a error scaling. I did reference to all images in this because all layers are, because that's a bit easier. Than going into the individual layers for that, so it's a bit quicker, keeps time. There isn't really much else to say here. Yeah, but as for like the setting as well, like obviously it's in the car. I designed this background from scratch. I didn't have any references except for the seats because I was stuck on that. I'd managed to make a good seat, so made a lot of details there underneath. You see, like there's a bit of a curve on what good perspective that isn't obvious, and then I did this from a car. I think I did this from memory, I could be mistaken, but this bit I did. I remember there's like a sort of handle thingy here. So you've got the windows. Also, what's in this layer? Keep going to check, but it's also animated. That's the other thing. I basically animated it to do like different drawings. I moved it up basically and made sure on the sixth loop or sixth layer I looped it. So I copy and pasted the beginning and put that. Wait, did I? Or maybe the end and put it there, so it sort of loops. It's a bit hard to see with characters actually. Was it? No, actually it's fine. Yes, interesting. Could show layer by layer though, if I can find it. There was originally going to be some bloom, but I didn't do that. Didn't work. What else? Glass. Yeah, the glass is like sort of a shining thing. I did a gloss stencil for some reason. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, it's like the surroundings, like the car. You can see it. It's like the windows entirely, and the road, and the concrete. Detail. It's like trying to add some detail to the seats somehow. I'm not good at it, obviously. I'm no artist at all. Remove the glass, it's bad. Lighting, that's not lighting, that's a feel. Sure. In the grass. The grass has a nice brush, I can't remember what it is actually. Well, sorry I don't mention brush as much, it's just not really my sort of thing. I just find whatever I find and use that. I don't remember the brush, but I don't know where it is. Why is a lot of my brushes gone? That's not good. I was using that. Fuck's sake. Alright, where is it? This is annoying. I don't know what's happened there. I think it's called a grass block. There it is. Yeah, you can still see it. That same outline sort of thing. It's like randomised as well, so if that there, it's a bit smaller. There you go. Perfect fit. But it has a sort of wall effect, so you will need to sort of stack it or at least stencil around it or something. Make it actually feel. Yeah, but I'm quite happy with it so far. And then we get on to another interesting part, which is the last background, which I find kind of fascinating because it did take some effort to do. It's definitely different. But this is also animated, so pay attention to it. Yeah, everything's moving, which is the impressive bit. I couldn't get the frame rate down other than in the final render. It's 12 FPS, I'll try to. But you've got like an entire city here, and I'll show you what it's like. Let's start with this one, yeah. This is a, well, over 4K image, but it's also short vertically, so it's not massive. I tried to do as much as I could with this, trying to make a unique city and make like roads and stuff. Maybe I was making this whilst watching South Park, of all things. Yeah, that's how long I've been doing this. I finished South Park in February, I think. What else is there? I do have a full like file for this, just to be clear. It's not like it's something I've found online or something, and they're not sourced. Like I made this by hand. I've got the assets here. Where's the? Don't know where the rock is gone. There it is. I've got the rock there. It's all the same thing. Pixel stains water for that, and something else for the bushes is like an actual animator on Clip Studio. I don't recommend Clip Studio though, to be honest. Being issues with it, and also it's monetized to hell, so it's not great. With the rocks, I did an interesting effect. I cut some of it out, and as you can see, like I got the grass sort of overlaying it in some areas. I got it's a bit like carve here. I think shadows beneath it. It's very hard to see, but there are definitely shadows there. Just do as many effects as I can. I did some really bad boats as well, really scuffed boats. You won't notice them. The cities are a different brush as well. It's actually quite clever. It's a town brush. Not sure who made this, but it's kind of like really basic. There's not anything special, but there is a lot there. But that's about it. So there's a pretty basic image, and I did it in sunset because that's where the obviously story takes place. So the next thing is actually the unsunsetted image. So yeah, I might also share this. Similar thing going on. It's the same image basically. It's just no filter, no sunset. You can see it a bit more clearly. You can see the shadows as well. A bit better. Yeah, I guess I need to explain why I didn't do it for the daytime, and that's not just because of the fan fiction, but it's also because of the fact that it's kind of sweeter when it's like dark. Yeah, it's sort of not special. Well, I don't know how to describe it actually. Yeah, I think the result is okay. I wouldn't say it's the best thing I've ever made. It's definitely some rough areas that I noticed in the end, like cheese has a weird sort of thing going on. I see head a bit change a bit. I don't know how that happened because I copy and paste each image, so it's a weird thing. I don't think I can fix that now. I'll show you a bit of the process again. So what image is that? Where's it changed? Also I had a 6th cheek, but I don't know what happened to that. I think I accidentally did, so maybe it's unnecessary. Something like that. So it's cheek 9, okay. So that should be easy enough to fix. I'll do Control C quick. And what changed there? What is wrong with Clip Studio Paint? It keeps doing that with this poly tool. I hate this tool because it just cancels what you're doing. Yeah, there you go. That, Control V. Oh, it's what? That's not right. Oh, it's done the folder, that's why. Yeah, there we go. There you go. No. Okay, apparently it's not done it. What's going on? Control paste. There we go. That's better. Yep, fix. So that's the full animation. Yeah, like, well, I don't think there's really anything else. I did the hearts in a separate place. I did my best with them. They're a bit difficult to do because of the, well, trying to get it to be like repetitive in the loop. So I did like one that shrunk here and then one that shrunk at the top. So it sort of gives you the illusion that they're like constantly coming out. Yeah, it's just a nice little detail, and also a tail wag. I have to mention that. It's one of my favourite things with animating, really. You can add details like this, which usually aren't possible in other places. It's like a crazy tail wag, and I achieved the effect with, so you can see there, it's like a fill. I didn't do it with tails because it didn't seem necessary. I think maybe he's a bit confused as to what's going on. Yeah, that's about it, I think, for this. Hopefully people found it interesting or insightful. We'll provide or try to provide a download description. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching.